Good morning, guys. So today we are going to replace this steering coupler, and the reason is it's because of this noise. I've already checked our inner outer tie rods, ball joints, all of that, they're all good. So the first thing you're gonna do is turn on your vehicle, turn your steering wheel sideways, and remove this screw and that screw. So let's do that first. There's one. There's two. Now let's put this back. Now we're gonna shut this vehicle off. And the next thing you're gonna have to do is make sure your seat is pushed all the way back so we have room to drop the steering down. Once you do that, now let's go to the front and let's remove our negative battery terminal, and you will need 10mm socket. Let's remove that and let your vehicle sit for about 20 minutes just to be safe. It's so that way you don't have to worry about your airbags going off on you while you're removing all these parts. All right, I'll see you in 20 minutes. Now let's remove this one. All right, so now we have a couple things. Let's remove this. We have a screw right there and one right there. Let's remove them. There's a second one. All right, so I got a flathead screwdriver. Let's pop this out. And now we have a couple screws here and here. Here's one. Here's two. Now all of this should pop up. Alright, so let's remove them two clips right here. So here's the clips. This one, all you have to do is just push on this tab. This one you just have to just pull it. And let's remove this. There we go. And we need to remove this connector right here. Just push on it, and that's for your push start button. All right, so now let's remove this bracket right here. This will be a 10mm socket. All right, so now let's remove this. All it is just a bunch of clips on top and bottom. So here's the bottom piece, and here's the top piece right here. So here's this piece that I just removed. Let's remove all of these connectors. Push on this tab, remove this. Right, once we remove this plastic clips right here, there's one that goes over here one that goes right there. Now let's unplug this connector. There's that. So this wire should be all good now. Move this aside. There's that. To remove this connector, you need to push this yellow tab out and push on this tab and it will come out. Let's remove this connectors. It's that one. Alright, so this one you need to push on this tab and come out. There's that. Now we need to remove this plastic clip right here. Alright, so now let's remove this. There's one screw hole in here. Let's pull this out. So now we need to remove this connectors. There's that one, same way. Push this yellow, click on this tab. Now we need to remove this blue clip to remove this. And all you do is just push on it. Now you do the same thing to the other one. Now we are ready to remove this bolt out here and this bolt out here, and it will be 12mm socket. So here's one. Here's two. Now let's remove this one. Here's a nut. So now we got that removed. The only thing that's holding it is that hook right there. That hook right there. So let's push it up and remove it. Alright, so there's the hook that's holding on, and once you get this hook out of the way, make sure you move this out of this connector and you should be able to drop this with no issues. Alright, so now we need T30 to remove these bolts. So now that we removed the last one from all the way in the back, now we can move this around and we'll need to clean all of that, and we need to clean all of that. So you can see it's broken off and all of that junk in there. Now I'm gonna use my vacuum and air compressor to clean all of that, and I'll be back. Alright, so I cleaned as much as I could, that and that. So here's our new coupler. Let's put this back in here. Just like that. Now let's line this up. Alright, now let's put our bolts back in. So one goes here, and one goes in the back. And they are T30. Now that you got the back one in and tight, now let's tighten this ones all the way. There's that one, and there's that one. So you're gonna have to lift this up, put this wire over here, and hook this on here, okay? Hand tight these two nuts out here. Now let's put these two bolts back right here, and be careful, it is moving. So there's that one. So now that we got all them tight, it's on there pretty good. Now let's plug everything back together. So we have this white one. What's that? We have this brown one. We have this big one. Now don't forget, put your blue clips on these two wires over here, connectors. Alright, so now we got them blue lock tabs on there. This one is tight. Now let's plug all of this. We have this right there, lock it up. We have this one right there. Show you here, click. Now we have this one, click. Make sure that's on there, make sure that's tight. And don't forget your plastic clips. That one goes there. The brown goes right here. Let's plug all of them up here. We have airbags. We have that one. We have this one out here. And we have this long one right here. Make sure all of them clicked in. None of them are going to be loose. And then of course don't forget your plastic clip. That goes there. This little one goes right here. So now let's put our vent tube. That goes in here. It goes that right there. And it's going to be held down by one screw. Put our bracket back together. Held on by this 4 bolts. And we need 10mm socket. Just that one. Just that one. Now let's put this piece back on here. Alright, so there goes that one. Now let's put our bottom piece on. Alright, so now let's put this bottom piece on here. Alright, so now we're ready for this piece. Let's connect this over here. There's that one. Let's connect them two connectors right here. After you do that, let's put this piece back on here. Screws back in. There's that one. There's that one. Let's put this piece back on here. This piece back on here. Now let's go to the front. You are sure that everything's connected, everything back together. Now let's put the battery back together. Alright, so now we got our vehicle started. Let's not forget to put this screws back in there. There's that one. Now let's turn back to the left. Let's tighten this screw. Alright, don't forget to put your last screw right here. And just like that, the clunking noise has disappeared.